Mike Cedric Band. Jeff, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good.
It's great having you guys in the studio.
Thank you.
The energy. Jeff, Robin Hutchison, Mike Cedric.
Yeah.
You guys just bring amazing energy.
Well, thank you.
I'm lost for words because I was having such a good time today. And we're going to go down to the Salty Dog after and just have a good time.
It's going to be fantastic.
Jeff, tell me, how did you get into all of this, man? Tell me those great stories. I want the meat. I want the juice. I want the gravy.
I started playing music when I was about 10 years old, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
I started out as a drummer.
Okay.
I still play drums.
All right.
But I had inherited a drum kit from my late uncle when I was 4 years old. But
Right.
I hadn't shown any interest until I was about 10 years old, and we had a family friend come over to the house and set it up who was a drummer. And I basically was driving my parents crazy until I was age 14, and my father, who had been a musician prior to me being born, we had a band from the time I was age 14 to the time I was age 22, and then I moved on to other various projects of my own. And so the journey has been going on for almost 30 years, you know. So,
Great.
yeah.
Because the first time I saw you, the band play, I saw you playing drums, and I go, wow, I like the Christmas and the tone and the timing. Who is this dude? And then I turn around to another session. Jeff is playing bass.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
am I in the right place?
Well, there's an interesting story about me starting to play bass. I still play with a band called Harvest, and at the time that we lost the bass player that we were using on gigs, the guitar player Dan Wallach had said, do you know how to play bass at all? Because it's probably easier for us to find a drummer than it is a bass player that sings. And I said, I've been kind of messing around with the bass a bit. I'd played in church bands and stuff like that, and musicals in church and things like that.
All right.
I was really a novice at it at the time, but I kind of had to take up the bass as a matter of necessity. And I mean, I mean, between that and the drums, you know, those are my two primary instruments. I also play guitar as well.
Okay.
So,
Killer singer, man.
I'm a singer as well.
Oh, yeah.
I sing a bit.
Multi-versatile. I like that. I mean, it's one thing to play one instrument, good.
Yeah.
But to play multiple, and that's a gift.
It's God given, but I also like to say that I had a lot of time on my hands when I was a kid.
Hey, not necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Wow. Do you remember the Toronto music scene back in the 70s, 80s?
Yeah.
What was that like? Tell the fans out there.
Well, I'm only 39, so I wouldn't have been. My experience has been more from the 90s on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I got my sort of professional start in about 1998, 99.
Okay.
The music scene was quite well. It was starting to really go through a transformation in the sense that you still had live music at the time was still really prevalent in a lot of bars. You didn't have the electronic DJs and there was karaoke, but it wasn't as popular as it became after a while. Okay. It's been a double-edged sword in the sense that the smoking ban has kind of, it's improved the health of a lot of people that frequent nightclubs and bars and things like that, but it's also detracted from the business side of things because a lot of people have stayed away from the bars that were so used to being able to have a beer or a drink and have a smoke of some sort. And,
right.
So the 90s and the early 2000s was a real transformation period in that regard. So,
okay.
I mean, there is still a lot of live music that's out there, and it's great to see that happening. It's just it's not as it was about 15 or so years ago.
Gotcha. Tell us some of the bands you're affiliated with.
With the Mike Cedric Band, I also play in a Creedence Clearwater tribute called Green River Revival that travels throughout Canada and parts of the U.S.
Okay.
I play with a band called Harvest, as I mentioned. I've been playing with them off and on for about almost 20 years now. Various other, projects that I get called that I've networked with over the years, they often need a fill-in musician or something like that, or I do a lot of solo gigs as well on acoustic guitar and playing sort of singer-songwriter type stuff.
Right.
So, and I've hosted jams myself and open mics and things like that.
Okay.
So
great. Tell me about your intimacy with your instruments.
Oh boy. Well, I'm always trying to improve myself.
All right.
Ironically, I don't practice enough as I should, but I'm always applying things that I hear other people do, either via like a live performance or what I hear on record and things like that.
Right.
As a genre, blues especially has become a very new thing for me. Not that it's never been a part of my life, but it's one of those things where, unlike rock and roll and unlike jazz and unlike various other forms of music,
right,
blues it's an interesting it's a multi-layered beast in a lot of ways. There's a lot of simplicity to it, but at the same time, and especially from a drumming perspective, you've got your various shuffles, but I mean, one shuffle, which is it's a type of swing beat, doesn't always apply to the same song.
Gotcha.
Or the same beat doesn't apply to different songs.
Okay.
And it's the same deal with bass lines, where you can play a walking bass line through anything.
Okay.
But there's certain nuances that you have to realize that you're playing with the guitar, and you've got to lock in with the drums, and there's a lot of variables that are deceptive in that regard.
Right. Okay.
When it comes to, because a lot of people see blues as you're playing three chords and maybe a guy with a harmonica comes in or whatever.
Or an accordion.
Or a trumpet. Bagpipe blues. There's we got to come up with find a bagpipe.
We're going to get my mom out one day.
Hey, that's right. Jennifer plays bagpipes. That's right.
Good.
But that's the thing is, I mean, it's such a deceptively simple sounding genre, but. And I mean, in terms of chord structures too, I mean, there's a lot of guys that, I mean, you've got your 3-chord progressions of 1, 4, 5, but there's a lot of guys that are still pushing that envelope,
right?
In terms of the theory of it all,
okay.
And they're going back to some of those, jazz progressions and things. You got like a song like "Stormy Monday," for example.
Yes.
That's not a standard 3-chord song. You've got all sorts of different passing chords and things that go on in between it, but
it could be boiled down to 3 chords.
It could be boiled, and I've heard it boiled down to 3 chords. But at the same time, the guys that really do it right, do it right.
Gotcha.
So.
That is your band jams. That's one of the things that amazes me. Amazes me is the amalgamation of musicians that come in after you do your thing. You make everybody inclusive and make them shine bright, man. It's that love, man. That's
a key thing. And I mean, it's a combination of wanting to build a community, but you also want repeat business a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I hate to say that it boils down to dollars and cents, but at the same time. You want to keep working. You got to make people happy.
Absolutely.
Be they an audience member or someone who shows up to a jam as a musician.
Yeah.
So.
Fine line.
Yeah, it's really true. Yeah.
Jeff Kahl, who's some of your favorite blues musician out there?
Blues musicians. Wow.
Yeah. Who's the guy who did it for you?
Oh man, my first exposure to blues, was probably Stevie Ray initially,
okay,
and then I got into the sort of the Mike Bloomfields and the Sun Houses and the Muddy Waters and the Howlin' Wolves and guys like that, and going even further back to Charlie Poole and Charlie Patton and all the Piedmont guys and Delta guys,
way back history.
So
that's history.
Going back that far to hearing those types of things where it hadn't even become kind of in the public consciousness that the blacks were able to get that stuff on tape. So you had guys like Charlie Poole and Charlie Patton get on trying to popularize that stuff for the white folks,
right?
as a genre, and then you had guys like your Sunhouses, your Robert Johnsons, your Blind Boy Fullers, and Sonny Boy Williamsons and guys like that, and come up as they did as it became more popular as a genre.
Okay.
So.
Jeff, I have to ask you, with all the great music sessions you guys play and the camaraderie that you have, where do you see this going for you down the road? Where do you hope to be? Take this music.
Yeah, well, I mean, having done it for as long as I have, I mean, I've played every genre I can think of other than jazz. I love jazz, but I like to think that there's a real honesty to the blues thing that I think a lot of people are starting to gravitate towards too, in the sense that because you've got a lot of people that are out there that, like I say, gravitate to that honesty, and they want that emotional release, and they want that rawness and that organic thing. And I mean, it's still, I mean, there is a factor of blues in this city. I'd like to see it go even further than it has, because I mean, you don't have your Young Street scene anymore.
True.
You don't have your Lecoq doors, you don't have your Concord taverns, you don't have your Colonial taverns, you don't have your Brown Derby anymore. I mean, I wasn't around for that period, but I've heard stories, the Blue Note and places like that, where any night of the week you could walk in and you could see guys like Howlin' Wolf, see guys like Buddy Guy, walk in and see Bo Diddley playing at Lecoq Door, or the Nickelodeon or places like that, where it's like, now you really gotta sort of sniff around and go, hey, wow, man, what's really going on out there? And I mean, luckily for us, we're kind of, because I like to think that what we're doing is very accessible for a lot of people, and in terms of the jam factor. Okay. That we allow people to have that accessibility to what we're doing musically, as well as being a participant in that. I mean, the real place that's keeping that sort of blues vibe going is Grossman's.
Yes.
Really, when it comes down to it, and I mean, it's unfortunate that the Silver Dollar had to close, but I mean, that was another real venue that was supporting, you had Eddie Clearwater coming to places like that. He'd come up from Chicago, Eddie the Chief Clearwater would come up, and I had the good fortune of seeing him up live and in person. The guy blew the doors off the place. This is back in like 2001. Wow. And I mean, that was probably my first live exposure to blues performance, is seeing somebody like him. I mean, I grew up in Port Credit, and they have the Southside Shuffle, and I mean, there have been some fantastic performers that have come through there, but I think the festival experience has to be experienced very differently than an actual club experience, in the sense that you're being assaulted constantly with so much musical, sensory overload in a festival. You got your similar to the Beaches Jazz Festival and things like that, where there's only so many things you can see in a day.
True.
So
I was there.
You're only getting a small seasoning of what is actually out there.
That is so true, because I went down there with my video camera, and I thought I was going to go crazy.
Oh, sure.
I'd cover stuff. We covered 5 groups, because there's so much you can take in.
That's the thing.
And if you want to do it properly, get the best images, get the best song, and then the editing, choose the right.
Yeah. I really wish that there was a place in Toronto like a juke joint type of thing in like because I've been to Memphis.
Okay.
And I've been and seen stuff on Beale Street, and that just blew me away. And I wish there was a Beale Street up here, like in that sense, having that amount of venues that cater to blues and roots music. You have your Dakota Tavern, you have your Grossman's Tavern, you have some, luckily the Salty Dog has been very gracious in having us there on a regular basis, which is fantastic. But I almost think that it's there's a real need for venues to come in existence again. But it's become tough because of so many things in this city that are preventing it from happening. And it's up to the paying public to support these venues before they start to go by the wayside, and people start to think that the venues start to think, oh, this isn't a viable option for us anymore. We're going to go and do karaoke.
Wow, we won't want that. Slow down, Jeff.
Yeah, no, this is exactly this.
You scared me there for a moment, man. There's nothing wrong with karaoke.
Oh God, no.
Blues and karaoke. No.
But also, like, bars are hesitant because of the regulars.
Yeah.
Who don't want to put up with music for a night. So for the
Precisely.
regulars, they're going to say, well, it's not making these regulars happy, so we can't have music.
Yeah.
And some of the noise bylaws too, and some of the
Yeah.
areas of the city, right?
We've
They
experienced that with a local venue in the past.
It's a noise venue, noise.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and even beyond that too.
Okay.
There's another. I'm not gonna name it by names because I mean they've been very gracious to us as well, and I mean they're a fantastic venue, regardless. But yeah, there's this mentality sometimes, and I think the onus is on the venue owners to promote things a lot better and not leave the onus on us as musicians, because we've got
on musicians.
Yeah, we work hard enough on stage as it is, and work off the stage on our craft. Yeah. There's only so many hours in the day to go and be on Facebook and
Yes.
be on Twitter and be on all the social media to promote it.
True.
So,
True.
yeah.
When you look back many years from now, how do you like to see this group and your music go different?
Well, I'd like to think that we will have accomplished at least something in this city in kind of injecting it with a younger vibe, and because I mean, God bless all the older guys that have come before us, but I mean, I hate to say it, you can tell that, and I mean, this is no disrespect to any of these people, and I'm not going to name names,
Right.
but I don't want to walk into a venue and see some guy on autopilot.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't want to see some guy just standing there and praying that that they don't get fired because they're standing there looking bored and looking at their shoes and looking at their watch, wondering when they can go have a cigarette.
Why?
So
I like that. Well put.
Yeah,
well
so
put.
I would like to think that hopefully we can inject a real sort of new blood into this scene in that regard, because I mean, it's been a long time coming, and I mean, if we don't do it, who's gonna? And it's one of those things where we have to keep this scene going, or else it is gonna go by the wayside.
Yes, we had a blues program, Julie Hill,
Oh,
3
okay.
years, and she left amazing blues. She used to play on a Wednesday, and we're trying to get somebody back
Yeah.
to put that blues, because as we speak, I handle 8 genres of
Oh,
music.
sure.
Nobody does that.
Yeah.
You got to be a nut to be doing crazy stuff like that. But I do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I incorporate a bit of blues from time
Yeah,
to time into
sure,
my program, a
sure.
little country.
Yeah.
I have funk, I have jazz funk, I have
Yeah.
soca, I have Afrobeat, I have
Yeah.
all these. It goes on, soul,
Oh, yeah.
saxophone, steel band. That's
Yeah.
the Caribbean community.
Sure.
And so, wow, we got to get that blues, like you said, injected right back into
That's
the
it,
program.
man. And I encourage any of these blues players that are out there,
Yeah.
to get in contact with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
And come in and promote.
absolutely.
Because that's my biggest fear too, is a lot of these blues guys are out there,
Yeah.
but they don't have they feel that they don't have a way to promote.
You tell these people, we've got Radioregent.
Yeah, Radioregent's a fantastic, and I mean, I've given this program a listen quite a few times, and I'm astounded. And I mean, even just sitting here this afternoon, just listening to the stuff that you've been playing over the air, it's amazing the amount, the depth of your scope.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And like Mike Cedric says, Curtis, you're Koolbreeze. You're chosen to do this.
This is true.
I love this stuff.
Oh yeah.
You guys fuel my passion to,
there you go.
continue to do this, and let's build great partnerships.
Absolutely.
And get people in here and
Absolutely.
showcase them nicely.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Put them up there and let them know that they have a home to come to.
Absolutely.
Jeff, thank you very much for sharing that. We want to get Robin in,
Absolutely.
coming over here.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Switch sides.
Robin,
I have
how
so much to
are
say.
you? Just come on in. Come on
I'll
in.
be right back.
Yeah, Robin, how are you, my dear?
I'm great, thanks.
Glad to have you here on the Koolbreeze Stratosphere. How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks so much for having us here. This is
You're welcome.
This is a new thing for me as well.
I saw you at the Salty Dog back in August, and you were doing your thing on the mic, piping out those blues songs.
Trying my best. Yeah.
And then, how did you get hooked up with the band?
Well, actually, I met Mike at a jam.
Okay.
So, and I was very, very new to singing at the time.
Okay.
I still am. But I'd only been doing one song the whole time, and it was always the same one. It was a Patsy Cline song.
Okay.
I didn't know how to do anything else. And,
Okay.
anyways, we kind of became friends first before we got together, and then we were kind of tossing around the idea of working on some stuff, and then we ended up getting together, and now he's been the biggest supporter and push to help me learn more things. And I've always loved blues music, but
Yes.
I never really knew
The
who was
connection.
doing what.
Right.
So he's been great at
just
educating me on that.
Give you a little direction.
Yeah,
Decided maybe you like this song.
and exactly, and it's been great.
That is a great canvas for me to take a solo.
Yeah, 'cause he kind of knows. He knows what my voice can and can't do, and
Okay.
it's really, really helpful for someone being new to it. And,
Right.
but I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
do you play an instrument at all?
I grew up playing piano. I played cello. I played a little bit of guitar, but I don't remember any of that, which is really sad. I should have stuck with it a little bit more. But I recently I picked up a bass back in February, so I'm trying to learn on that. I'm still
I love bass.
pretty green on it, but hopefully I'm going to get there and be able to bring that out and play one of these
That's
days.
good. I want to
Yeah.
come and see you play when you get on board, and because I'm a bass freak.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, love a bass.
Love the
Oh,
sound
my
of it.
God. So, you guys have a lot of fun doing all this stuff, and where do you see yourself going with this, the music?
Right now, I'm just wanting to see Mike move up in this thing and go places with it, and
Yes.
there to support and that kind of thing. I mean, I'd love to be able to sing in some capacity with whether or not it's Mike Sedgwick or any other band, that kind of thing. Once I get a little further ahead
Okay.
in this journey, I don't know what the future holds yet. Kind of just take it day by day and have fun with it. That's the way I'm looking at it right now.
That's all. Then that's all you can do, because when I come in to see you guys play, I go, you know what? It's just a lovely evening of entertainment, musicmanship, and creativity. And I go, yeah, you know what? There's no need for me to rush out of here. I'm just here to roll tape and make powerful video documentaries on the local artists.
Yeah.
My passion fields for upcoming artists.
It's amazing what you do. Like Mike and Jeff have both said in listening to your show before, it's amazing, and I love that you're so supportive of the music community of all different genres and not just one specific. I think it's really, really great. It's nice to hear that.
Especially a lot of genres that don't get a lot of.
Exactly.
respect
Yeah.
and
Very, very true.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that you were playing. I think I said to you earlier.
Yeah.
How do you find all this stuff? Because it's stuff that sounded amazing, but I'd never heard of that particular band before, and it's really great.
No, I don't want to brag about anything, but I have a vault that with 5,000 pieces of funk and all different genres.
Yeah.
And every now and again, something will spark me to go in there, and when I go in there, look out.
I'm looking forward to hearing
now,
that.
you remember that Demo Kate soundbite, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, how's it go again?
Oh.
If you don't know.
Yeah, if you don't know Koolbreeze, you're about to find out, man.
Yes.
That's it, man.
Thank you. So I'm really liking your guys' work and your energy and your attitude, in creativity and in music, and you make people feel good. Because when I tell people, I said, get down there. They're going to be there today. The Salty Dog from 3 to 7. I know you guys got to be out here soon to set up and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
I'm going to, right after the show, I'm going to come down there and
Amazing.
sort of roll tape.
Well, these guys are going to be great as usual.
You know,
They always are.
And we're going to have a good time. And some of the people you had in the band, you guys work great together. And just, it's a lovely thing
We're
to
all
see.
friends, man. I mean,
All friends,
Yeah.
friends first, really. You know, it's
Yes.
really a community.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things, like I said, I admire about you. It's not just about the Mike Cedric. It's about community, the band, bringing everybody and making them shine. And that attitude I have with being in the broadcast.
Right.
When it was like, you know, bring everybody.
Yeah.
And I think too with the jam that I co-host with Mike, we want to make sure that anybody coming out to play or saying whatever they're doing, that they're enjoying themselves, right? And
Of
that
course.
they're going to actually get up. And you know, it can be tricky sometimes when they
Yeah.
get busy, but I think you know we try our best to make sure everyone is accommodated and feels good at the end of the night. You know.
Definitely.
And that's what's important. Anything you want to get out there before we conclude, Robin?
Oh boy.
Let's get it out there.
Aside from come see us at this, well, come see Mike at the, I'm not part of that. Come see Mike Cedric and Paul Sano at the Salty Dog 3 to 7 this afternoon.
I'm there.
And then then the next what's our next jam? The 22nd.
September 22nd.
Where's that?
Friday night, Salty Dog.
Again,
The jam.
the jam.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
come on out, and
We're gonna have
thanks
a
to
good-
everyone who's been so supportive of that and coming out. And
Yeah.
thank you to you, Koolbreeze, for
You're welcome.
having us here and
You're welcome.
you know, and being so supportive. It's great. It's really amazing.
Thank you much. Thanks for coming on to the Radioregent's broadcast facilities, Mike Cedric, Jeff Kahl, and Hutchison, taking the time out of your busy schedule and telling those great stories. And I know, who knows, a year from now, we may have a CD. We're gonna have more musicians in your group coming out.
I want to come back in a year and we'll just
And-
see where we've gone.
How we progress,
Yeah.
and that you know, that's gonna happen. And I wanted you guys to know that you have a home to come to, Radioregent.
Much appreciated. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you for your
Thank you.
time. You're welcome. Alrighty.
This is Jeff Kahl. If you don't know who the Koolbreeze is, player, you're gonna find out.